Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of our Booster Club members for your many donations and much more, your prayers. We visited faraway countries and strange lands. We've even spoken to dignitaries and were detained for spreading the glorious gospel in Cuba. The truth is that the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel were scattered throughout the world. Help us on our journey as we continue to raise up the nation of Israel. 12 tribes worldwide. Join or donate today. Shalom.
Hey, how you doing, brother? Come on in, King. You know what we teaching up here?
Yes, I do.
All praise. What have you been learning?
Everything.
Everything. Okay. You been watching?
Yeah, I've been watching.
Shalom, sis.
Both of us been watching.
All praises.
Everything.
How long you been watching?
Probably about a couple months.
Couple months now?
Yeah.
So you know your identity? You know your nationality?
Yeah, I think I'm Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
All praise to the Most High. All praise.
A lot of my people are natives.
Okay. What's your tribe, sis? You get Judah? Strong tribe right there. So is Benjamin. So you guys are getting the understanding now.
You get a mic.
Give me the
understanding of like the marriage part.
You need understanding on the marriage part? What do you need understanding on?
Like one guy was saying like once you have sex with somebody, married.
That's not necessarily true. Right? So we'll get that understanding. Read what you got. Deuteronomy 10 and 12. Stay with me. Stay with me. Deuteronomy 10 and 12. We'll get the understanding because there is a doctrine that once you have sex with a woman, that's automatically your wife and that's it. That's not according to the Bible, right? We'll get the understanding. Read what you got.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse 12. And now, Israel, what does the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God.
So now Israel, now that you sis and you brother, y'all learning y'all Israel, what does God require of you? What is a requirement that you got this understanding now? Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways.
To walk in all his ways, read.
And to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. To keep the commandments of the Lord.
To do what?
To keep the commandments of the Lord.
To keep the commandments. So now we're going to get commandments. Give me Exodus 22 and 16. That's a good question. Because there's a doctrine that all you got to do is lay down with a woman, that's your wife, that's it. Some brothers, I heard some brothers use the crayon to write, this is my wife, here, sign it. That's not according to the Bible. Read what you got.
The book of Exodus.
Is that it?
Chapter 22
Verse 16.
and verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
So if a man entice a maid, you spitting game, right? And you lay down with her, have sex with her, you shall surely make that your wife. It didn't say you lay down with her, that's your wife. Since you lay down, you gotta make her your wife. So how do you make a woman your wife now? Let's see, biblically, how is a woman made your wife now? Give me Tobit 7 and 14. Tobit 7 and 14. Because even back in the day, we did this because brothers want to say they don't want to get a marriage certificate because that's the heathen's custom. No. That's Israel's custom and the heathen took it from us. Right. We did everything in writing as a people. Right. Read what you got.
The book of Tobit, chapter 7, verse 14.
Read.
And Edna called his wife and took paper.
Took what?
Took paper.
He called his wife, took paper. Read.
And did write an instrument of covenant.
And made what?
An instrument of covenant.
An instrument of covenant is a contract that cannot be broken unless those two parties break it themselves. That is called today a marriage certificate. Right? And do we have our own courthouses established? No. So who do we have to go to for a marriage certificate now? The other nations. Right. The courthouse. Right? We got to go for a license. We got to go for a death certificate. So even a marriage certificate, we got to go to the courthouse for. And that was biblical for us to do that. Read.
And sealed it.
And did what?
And sealed it.
And sealed it. That's That's why they have a seal on the marriage certificate. It used to be our seal, but we got to use their seal, right? But we're still doing it biblically according to the scriptures. Read.
And they began to eat. After Raguel called his wife Edna and said unto her, Sister, prepare another, said unto her, Sister, another chamber, and bring her in thither.
So we had a wedding chamber. So we would sign the certificate and then lay with each other. That was how we originally did it. Marriage papers, and then we had sex. But in Exodus, that was a law for a Negro that didn't want to do it right. If you lay with her, you got to make her your wife by doing this, by getting the papers, by getting the covenant. Give me Sirach 42 and 7. Does that make sense, sis? Okay. I'm gonna pose a question to you in a minute. 42 and 7. Read.
The book of Sirach, chapter 42 and verse 7. Deliver all things in number and weight, and put all in writing that thou givest out or receivest in.
And read that last part again.
And put all things in writing.
Put all things in writing
That thou givest out or receivest in.
So that's a law. We did everything in writing. This is your wife, show your paperwork. Prove it with paperwork. Show me your marriage certificate. That's how we got down. We was a nation in order. We did everything's in order. Now give me Matthew 19 and verse 5. So you need a marriage certificate. As Israel, as brothers and sisters repenting, coming to the laws and commandments of our forefathers and foremothers and of God, we got to get a marriage certificate for marriage. It's not just sex. That don't make a woman a wife. That just makes her a jump off. And until you get that paper and that marriage certificate, it's not legally binding, and God doesn't honor that marriage because our people are not doing it right?
The book of Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 5. And said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. Wherefore, they are no more twain, but one flesh. Therefore God has joined together, let no man put asunder.
So when you become married, become one flesh. Y'all move in together, y'all live together, y'all join together, plus the marriage certificate. So marriage, y'all have to live together. Because it ain't no, that's my wifey, but she lived down the block, right? Y'all gotta move in together. Y'all gotta come together, right? With the marriage certificate. So it ain't, because I know brothers and sisters in the world, they'll call each other boo, wifey, hubby, but they live 2 states away from each other. God say y'all gotta move in together and marriage certificate. Is that in on that? Where's that bill of divorce? All right, here, verse 7. Read that. Verse 7.
Verse 7. They said unto him, Why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away?
So I want y'all to pay attention to this verse. The Pharisees was asking Christ a question. Why did Moses allow brothers to write a bill of divorce, right? So if they're writing a bill of divorce to divorce their wife, what did they have to have initially? A marriage certificate. A marriage certificate. You can't give somebody a bill of divorce if you don't have a marriage certificate. So that's what you have to get, is a marriage certificate to be legally, in the eyes of God, married and live together. So does that make sense now? Yeah. That makes sense, brother? That's your wife? That's your wife? Now, yeah, okay, I'll pray. They're going to get there. I'll pray. We're going to keep the laws of the Bible. Because now that you are Israel, you got to come back to the laws and commandments of God. Because that's what God has given us as Israelites. We can't deal with each other like other nations or like Negroes and thugs. That's not what God created us to be. Created you to be a princess of the Most High. Right. Created you to be a king of the Lord.
That's
you got to deal like a king, because a king deal with law and order.
That's right.
That's what we got to come back to. And it's on you to get that in order. All right? What you got?
The book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 20. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all thy field, sow it with thine own seed.
So, a fruitful possession. Your wife will be your possession according to the Bible. And when a man gets a godly man is going to take care of that possession, love that possession, teach that possession. We're going to value our possession, right? Just like, you know how brothers get territorial, right? Hey, this is mine. This my wife, right? This is my possession, brother. Yeah, she married, right? That's what the Bible's saying. That's going to be your possession, right? Is that it on that? Read.
Trusting in the goodness of thy stock.
And trusting in the goodness of your stock is talking about your seed, your bloodline. Y'all supposed to be fruitful and multiply and bring forth more righteous Israelites on the planet, right? So that's bits and pieces of marriage. It goes deeper than that, but that's what you got to start with on the marriage certificate, coming together, moving in together, and keeping these laws. All right. So y'all congregating yet? Where y'all congregating at the house? All right. Give me Leviticus 23. So you congregate now, but we do have a school and a location y'all can come and congregate with brothers and sisters. Even have your children around other young children that's being raised in these laws. Because if y'all just by yourselves, who's gonna be there to correct y'all? Who's gonna be there? Who's gonna be there to build you up as a man? Okay, I'll praise to the Most High. So it's important to congregate with us. All right, what you got? 23.
The book of Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 3. 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation.
Hey, what?
And holy convocation.
A holy convocation is a holy gathering. It's a holy gathering. So when we gather together, it's a holy thing, right? So God said on the Sabbath day, gather together as a nation and worship Him. Today's the Sabbath, right? Do y'all know when the Sabbath begins? All praises. Y'all see, y'all are learning. All praises to the Most High. Praises to the Most High that He's allowing us to wake up in these last days, but it's on us to bring forth that action, right? Because it sounds good, right? For some, it sounds good, but most of our brothers and sisters don't react on it. Only the ones that react on it will inherit the kingdom of heaven. We'll get the blessings, get the reward. We'll have maids and servants and handmaids to cater to us for eternity. But that's if you react. Give me Hebrews 25. No, 10, 25. Thank you. Read that.
The book of Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 25. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together.
Don't forsake the assembly of ourselves together. Don't put that off, because God told us to gather together. A holy convocation. We have a school. Y'all can come congregate. Meet the sisters. Hey sis, I want to learn how to be a better wife. I want to learn how to be an Israelite princess. Can you show me? I know y'all been here for like 7 years. What y'all go through, right? Hey bro, hey king. They show me how to be a man according to the Bible. I'm dealing with some things. Can you show me how you dealt with it? Show me the scriptures where you went to build your spirit up. Let's build, brother. That's why you got to congregate. You can build together as a nation.
That's right.
Read.
Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is.
As what?
As the manner of some is.
As the manner of some is. Some people will hear this truth and still want to stay by themselves and be lonely lights. That's what we call brothers and sisters that don't congregate. Lonely lights. They want to be lonely lights, right? God said, don't be like that. Come together. Don't forsake the assembly. Read.
But exhorting one another.
But doing what?
Exhorting one another.
Well, we're going to lift each other up when we see each other at the body, at the congregation. Exhorting one another.
And so much the more.
And so much the more.
As ye see the day approaching.
As we see death and destruction and the end of the world coming, we got to congregate even more so. Right? We got this coronavirus going off. Trump done caught coronavirus, supposedly, right? You got these other nations going back and forth of war, rumors of war. So as we see these things happening, we need to congregate and get our spirits right so we can be ready for when the Black Messiah returns and brings judgment to this earth.
Right.
You want to be in order. You want to be wearing fringes. get your dress code in order. You want to get your dietary in order. You want to get the ceremonial laws in order. These are the things you're going to learn when you start congregating. Because if you're not in order, you're going to get put to death.
That's right.
So that's why God said, even the more so when you see the day approaching, because he's not playing with our people. He's given us chance after chance, all the way from Egypt, all the way to now, to get right and keep his laws and commandments. This, 2 Ezra 6 and 9, this is the last captivity God is going to allow us to be in to get ourselves right.
That's right.
This is our last chance to get right before we get destroyed forever.
Teach the people.
This is our last chance. So even the more so, it should be important for y'all to congregate and get right with God's laws. Read what you got.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
Y'all know who Esau is? Who is he? So-called white man. Who's ruling the earth today? So-called white man. The Bible just said he's the end of the world. When the white man is in rulership, it's when the end of the world is going to go down. We are living in the end times when the world is going to end. Read.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
And we are the kingdom that's going to rise up after this kingdom goes down.
That's right.
What you want to be in a kingdom where our brothers and sisters are ruling this earth in righteousness and bringing laws and commandments in order to the other people that's going to serve us? Or do you want to be destroyed with Esau and the wicked of our people when Christ returns?
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.